I sold every inch of land I owned to make my children millionaires. But today, at their 5-star wedding, my son looked me in the eye and asked, "Who is this beggar?" While my daughter ordered the guards to throw me into the dirt. This is the story of how the children I died for erased me from their lives. I met James when I was barely 20. No car, no fancy suit, just a squeaky bicycle and that smile. That smile could make you forget everything else. We married in a tiny ceremony. My dress, borrowed. His shoes, worn through at the soles. And we danced. Until our legs gave out and the world disappeared around us. We lived in a one-room shack at the edge of the village. Education, barely finished primary school. Money, almost none. But we had dreams. At night, under the tin roof while rain tapped above us, we whispered about one day. "Augustine," he said, holding my hand, "our children won't live like this. They won't carry water from the stream. They won't beg for meat. They'll be great." We worked like slaves. James carried cement bags until his back curved. Me. I woke at 4 every morning to fry bean cakes. Hot oil burned my arms, leaving scars I still bear. Every penny went into a metal box under our bed. Not food, not clothes, but a future. A future for. We were the roots of a tree. Staying in the dark so the branches, our children, could reach the sun. And Leo came, my firstborn. When the midwife placed him in my arms, love hit me like a knife. 2 years later, Sarah arrived, eyes like black buttons, laughter like silver bells. Even as toddlers you could see they were different. Leo tinkered with radios. Sarah read every scrap of newspaper she could find. Their teachers came to our house. "Your children are geniuses," they said. "They belong in the city. In universities abroad." James and I swelled with pride. Tattered clothes, thinning bodies. We didn't care. "They are the branches," I said. "We are the roots. We must stay in the soil, so they can touch the sky." I didn't know then that sometimes branches forget the roots even exist. As they grew, costs rose. Books, uniforms, exams, never ending. But James and I had a secret. 5 small plots of land we had bought over 20 years. Our life insurance. Our retirement. Then came the letters. Leo, university in America. Sarah, nursing school in the UK. Tuition. A mountain we could not climb. James held the title deeds, hands shaking. Everything we worked for. Everything we sacrificed. About to be given away for their future. And we did it. Every plot. Every penny. Because we believed in one day. James had worked 30 long years to buy that land. Every hard day, every blistered hand, every sleepless night. It was all for security for us. "Augustine," he said, voice cracking. "If we sell this, we have nothing left. Nothing. We will be paupers." I looked at him, at the reflection of our children's bright futures glowing in my mind. My heart ached, but my voice was steady. "James, what is land compared to our children? Land is just dirt. Our children, they are our blood. Let's sell it, all of it." And so we did. 5 plots, gone within a month. Our security, a home, old age, traded for 2 plane tickets and 2 tuition checks. I remember waving goodbye at the airport, tears running down my face. I thought I was watching my dreams take flight. I didn't realize I was watching my children fly away from me. Forever. The first year, it was okay. They called, "Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad." And for a while we believed it. But then the needs began. "Mom, the weather is cold. I need a $500 coat." "Dad, the books are so expensive. Another $1,000, please. I can't work and study at the same time. Please help." We had 1 plot left. Just one. The shack we stood on. It was everything we had. James, he was tired. His cough was getting worse. I told him, "James, let's keep this one. We need a place to sleep." But then Sarah called, crying. She said she would be kicked out if we didn't pay her final fees. And she promised, once I graduate, I'll buy you a mansion. You'll never work again. And so, we sold the 6th plot, the very ground we were standing on, moved into a tiny rental room with a leaking roof. No land, no savings, no health insurance. We were empty. Everything poured into 2 cups across the ocean, waiting for them to overflow. But the cups, they didn't overflow. They just got bigger. And the calls, they started getting shorter. Until one day, the phone didn't ring at all. Have you ever held a phone, praying for it to vibrate? I used to sit by that window, holding our cheap plastic phone like it was sacred, checking the battery every 10 minutes, lifting it to the sky, thinking maybe it's the network. Maybe that's why they haven't called. Down. He knew. The one day we had sacrificed for had arrived for Leo and Sarah, but we had been checked out of their lives, like an old hotel room they no longer needed. James's breathing got worse. He'd look at me with tired eyes. Augustine, did the postman come? Is there a letter from Leo? I lied. Oh, James, you know how busy the doctors are in America. Leo's probably performing surgery. He'll call soon, protecting his heart. While mine was being ripped out, I started sending messages. Leo, your father is weak. Sarah, please. Just a hello for your dad. Double blue ticks. Isa. They read. And then, the gray circle. The profile pictures disappeared. They didn't just ignore me. They blocked me. My own flesh and blood. Deleted me, with a single thumb click. Hunger is a strange thing. When you're young it feels like a challenge. When you're old it feels like shame. We had nothing. I went back to the roadside to fry bean cakes, but my hands shook so badly. I'd burn myself. My eyes were failing. People started whispering. Is that not Augustine? The one whose children are in big countries. Why is she still wearing that same torn wrapper? Why is James looking like a skeleton? I pulled my headscarf lower, pretending I didn't hear. Can you believe it? Even then, I was defending them. Even when my stomach was growling, I'd tell the neighbors. They're sending money soon. Just busy building a hospital. I was a mother draped in a cloak of lies, hiding the fact that my children had left me to starve. I went to the market, begging for ugly vegetables, just to make a watery soup for James. A queen giving away her crown, begging for crumbs in her own kingdom. It was a Tuesday. Rain poured down, hitting the leaking roof like stones. James called my name. A whisper. Ran. His skin was cold. So cold. Augustine, he wheezed. Tell Leo to be a good man. Tell Sarah to stay beautiful. Tell them I'm proud. I grabbed the phone. I didn't care about the block anymore. I tried the internet, called their friends, screaming into a cheap plastic device. Your father is going. Speak to him. Just one word. Nothing. Just rain. James stared at the door one last time, waiting for his son. He had no idea his American son was on a rooftop in New York, popping champagne that could have paid his hospital bills 10 times over. James died holding my hand, but his heart was still at the airport, waiting for children who never booked a flight. Do you know what real pain is? Real pain is asking your neighbors for money to bury the man who spent his life trying to be somebody. I had no land, no jewelry, not even a goat. But the village, bless them, they showed me what family really means. Mrs. Okoro brought wood. Mr. Benson dug the hole. They put coins together. Bought a simple white cloth to wrap James in. At the cemetery I looked at my phone one last time. I had sent a message from a relative's phone. Your father is dead. The funeral is today. No reply. No money. No I'm coming home. Just silence. As the dirt hit the wood, I realized I wasn't just burying James. I was burying the woman I used to be. The woman who believed that if you gave your all to your children, they would catch you when you fell. After the funeral, the house felt like a tomb. I stayed in that damp room talking to God. Father, I would whisper, did I do something wrong? Did I love too much? Did I make life too easy for them by making it too hard for me? I started seeing them online again. A neighbor's daughter, pity or cruelty, I don't know, showed me their Instagram. Sarah, a white dress that cost $5,000. Leo, healthy, fat, saying success is a choice. They looked happy. They had never known hunger. Like they had scrubbed me off their skin. Deeper than I had buried their father. And even then, I prayed for them. 'Cause that is what a mother does. She bleeds, so they can live. She dies, so they can breathe. 2 years passed after James died. 2 long years of boiled yam and salt, staring at walls that had seen more tears than sunlight. I had accepted that I was a ghost. Then the village buzzed like a beehive. At the market, everyone stopped talking when I walked by. Augustine, have you heard? My friend Mary asked, eyes wide. Your children are back. They aren't in America anymore. They're in the city. At the Grande Imperial Hotel. And Augustine, they're getting married. Both of them. A double wedding. My heart did a somersault. Back here. On the same soil. I didn't think about the blocks. The funeral they skipped. I thought, they're coming for me. They've come to take me away from this shack. I ran home, tripping over my own feet, packing a small plastic bag. Just an old lace blouse. And a photo of James. I thought this was the one day at last. The city. It was a monster. 20 years away, and now everything was terrifying. The cars, the noise, the buildings scraping the clouds. I spent half of my last savings on a bus ticket. At the back, clutching my bag, smelling of kitchen smoke, I felt invisible. People laughed when I asked for directions. You. At the Imperial. I didn't care. I walked for hours. My feet were swollen. Slippers cutting into my skin. Finally, the Grande Imperial. A palace of glass and gold. Flowers everywhere. Perfume in the air. And me. A dusty old woman in a faded wrapper. Standing at the gate to the heaven my children had built without me. I pushed through the revolving doors. Cold air slammed into me like a wall. There they were. Leo near the fountain, in a suit that gleamed like silk. Sarah laughing, hair adorned with pearls, sipping from crystal. Royalty, my blood. Standing on a pedestal I had built with my sweat. Leo. Sarah. Cold voice cracked. It's me. Mama. The lobby froze. For a heartbeat, recognition flickered across Leo's face. Stone. Disgust. No hug. No tears. Just cold, cold rejection. Leo stepped closer, but not to embrace. He leaned in, voice sharp. What are you doing here? Who told you to come? I sobbed, reaching out. Leo, it's me. I came for the wedding. I've missed you, your father. He stepped back, loud enough for all to hear. Do I know you? Are you looking for the kitchen? The staff entrance is in the back. Sarah's heels clicked across the marble. I's never met mine. Laughing with her friends, she said. Some people see success and claim relation. It's quite embarrassing, isn't it? I stood there, invisible. And then, the final betrayal. Out of the elevator stepped a woman I knew. My brother's young wife, the one who had never worked a day. Draped in expensive lace, gold dripping from her fingers. Leo put his arm around her. Mother, he said loudly, ready for the rehearsal dinner? She smirked at me, knowing exactly who I was. They had replaced me. A mother who looked the part. Smooth skin, expensive clothes, photogenic. My burnt hands, my beancake scars. Invisible. My sacrifice. Invisible. And there I was, 5 feet away, the woman who gave them life, while they toasted to a stranger. That night, I couldn't go back to the village. My heart was too heavy to carry. I found a small park near the hotel and sat on a cold stone bench. The city lights were bright, but inside me it was pitch black. I pulled out the old photo of James, I whispered. They didn't recognize me. They said I was a stranger. I slept on that bench, shivering. Every car that passed. I thought maybe it was them coming to say, "Mom, we're sorry." But the cars never stopped. I realized something bitter. My children weren't just embarrassed by my poverty. They were embarrassed by my sacrifice. Every wrinkle, every scar, every sleepless night I had given for them was too much for their image of success. They wanted to believe they had done it alone. The next morning, the hotel buzzed like a hive. Trucks arrived with flowers that smelled like a dream. Long black cars pulled up. Women floated past in dresses like starlight. I found a public tap, washed my face, smoothed my hair, and put on my old lace blouse. Maybe today, they'll finally see me. In my bag, a small gift. A tin of the sweets they loved as children. It was all I could afford. I thought, once they taste this, maybe they'll remember me. The mother who blew on their porridge. Who stayed awake when they were sick. The wedding hall was a fortress. Guards in black suits and earpieces looked like soldiers. Music, beautiful, haunting, drifted through the air. "I am the mother of the groom and the bride," I told one guard, trying to stand tall. He looked at my dusty feet, my faded wrapper, my plastic bag. "Move along, old woman. Charity line is at the back. This is a private VIP event." "I am not a beggar," I shouted, voice trembling with fury. "Leo is my son. Sarah is my daughter. Ask them. Tell them Augustine is here." They stepped around me like I was dirt. I tried to push past the guard. I just wanted to see them walk down the aisle. I just wanted to hear, "I do." "Leo!" I screamed. The guard grabbed my arm. Pain shot through me. He shoved me hard. I stumbled into the dirt, slippers flying. My plastic bag burst open. The sweets, my tiny gift, rolled into the gutter. The new mother, my uncle's wife, walked past. She paused, looked down, then smiled coldly and adjusted her gold necklace. The doors slammed shut. Music drowned my cries. But then, a miracle. A group of villagers who had come to see the big wedding had witnessed everything. They saw the guard push me. They saw me crying in the dust. "Hey!" Mr. Okafor shouted. "What are you doing?" "That is Mrs. Augustine, the woman who sold 6 plots of land for those children." Crowd formed. Shouts filled the air. "Shame! Shame on you!" The villagers' voices rose, pounding against the walls of wealth and arrogance. They began chanting my name. "Augustine!" The hotel walls seemed to shake. For the first time I had an army. Truth was my weapon. But my children, would they come out? Or hide behind their walls of gold? The chanting of the villagers grew so loud that the heavy oak doors finally creaked open. For a heartbeat, the music from the ballroom spilled into the street. My knees were raw from the dirt, my hands trembling, my eyes blurry with tears. Leo stepped out. He looked like a prince, but his face was twisted with rage. He didn't glance at the crowd. He looked only at me. I reached out my shaking hand. "Leo, my son, please. They know. The village knows. Tell them I'm your mother." He leaned close, and his words cut deeper than any knife. "You are ruining my life, Augustine. These people are investors, dignitaries. Do you want me to tell them my mother fries bean cakes in the dirt? Go back to the village. I'll send you money. Just go." The doors slammed behind him. That heavy thud. That was the sound of my heart finally breaking. The villagers tried to comfort me. Mr. Okafor offered to buy me a drink. I couldn't swallow. I bent down, picking up my broken slippers. The sweets, the gift I had carried, were crushed under the tires of a luxury car. I didn't take a bus. I just walked. I walked until the city lights faded and the air smelled like trees and dust again. I felt invisible. I had given them my youth, my husband's life, our land. And all I got was a staff entrance and a cold shove. I realized something bitter. You can give a child a PhD, but you cannot give them a heart. Education without character is just a polished weapon. Back in my shack, cold and dark, I sat on my old mat. For the first time I felt a strange peace. I looked at the corner where James used to sleep. I had nothing left to lose. No money, no land, no pride, not even my name. But they could not touch my soul. I prayed, not for revenge, but for forgiveness. Because one day, their hair will gray, their skin will wrinkle, and they may wonder, will my children do to me what I did to her? I am richer than they are. I have my memories. I have integrity. All they have is a glass house that could shatter at any moment. If you're watching this, listen. Maybe your mother isn't fancy. Or her hands are rough. Maybe she wears the same dress every Sunday. Those wrinkles. Maps of battles fought to keep you safe. Those hands. Shields that protected you from the world. Do not be ashamed of the woman who bled so you could breathe. Don't replace her with a better version. For a photo, a party, or status. The view from the top is lonely when you've stepped on your mother to get there. Oh her. Hug her. Celebrate her. Before it's too late. They think they erased me. But I am in the wind, the soil, in every heartbeat they take. Love the ones who raised you when you had nothing. One day you might have everything, and realize what truly matters. Don't let your mother become a stranger. Love your mom. I share my story not for pity but for change. If one child goes home and hugs their mother after hearing this, my sacrifice was worth it. Thank you so much for journeying through this tale with me. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear this wisdom, and subscribe to join our growing family of storytellers. Your support truly means everything. I'd love to hear from you. Which part of the story resonated with you most? And let me know which part of the world you're watching from. I read every comment and they truly keep me going. See you in the next story. I love you all. God bless you. Bye.